Hey guys, it's JC's Reborn Journey here, and I'm here with part 2 of what's been going on in the last couple of years and why I've been on MIA and all that stuff. So where I left off was at that hospital in November in 2017. So we're going to move forward. So a couple of times I was called, I had the police called on me because I was intoxicated and I was taking pills. That's what I was doing. I was pill popping, and I've told you guys this before. And I was pill popping and just getting myself into serious trouble. I think I had it called on me twice, and that was at physical therapy because that's all I was doing. So either here I was called on, and once at home and once there. I guess I went there. I was intoxicated. I was not safe to drive, and I had to go inpatient. And I got released, I think, that night. And then the other one I got released that night. I'm not sure. All I remember is the one in October or November of going inpatient. So then, Christmas was tough. January, I was doing nothing but popping pills. In 2018. January of 2018. And I really haven't, before I met Dennis, I smoked weed, maybe tried a couple of different things here and there, but after he passed away, got myself into a lot of trouble, with substance abuse. So, I'm not going to go too much into detail for every single thing. But I know that I had top surgery in February 27th of 2018. I was hospitalized in April and in May. I met a new friend in June. Things were kind of going good there, and started deteriorating over the time. I was then in September, so September of 2018 made my 1-year anniversary to being on testosterone. And I started, all of a sudden, food started tasting funny to me, and even smoking weed was tasting funny to me. Like, I couldn't even do that. And I started losing weight. I started really, getting scared about what I eat. And you gotta understand, too, I've had a stomach problem my whole entire life. So I've been afraid to eat food. Food made me sick. So it's not something that just all of a sudden came up about. I've always been afraid to eat food because then you're getting sick, diarrhea, or you get constipation. That's basically what's been going on. So I get afraid. If you go out, you don't know where you're going to go, and you don't want to have an accident, So I've been dealing with this since I was 13, and everybody seems to have different opinions about what it could be. I think it's possibly that I have IBS, which I've been diagnosed with, but I also think I have a food intolerance. So, and because the reason why I say that is because headaches, heartburn, headache and heartburn, and there was something else. I was on medication for it, and I went on a very strict diet, took myself off the meds, and I was doing fine. Had no more IBS problems, had no more heartburn or headaches. And when I say headaches, we're talking major migraines. I had a migraine that lasted me for 2 months straight. Like a migraine for 2 months straight. That was the worst. It was like a whole summer migraine. It was crazy. So I get afraid to eat food because I get sick in more than one way. So my food started tasting and texture. I'm very sensitive to texture and taste and And the other thing that's really funky with me is something that might smell bad, might not actually taste bad. But if something smells bad, are you going to go around and eat it? No. And it's not just scent, it's eyesight. You might look at something and something might look gross, but that doesn't mean it tastes gross. So that's where I have the eating disorder problem. If I see something that looks gross, I ain't gonna eat it. If it sounds gross, I ain't gonna eat it. And I don't like my food mixed or touching. So yeah. So anyways, September of 2018, my taste started changing and things started. So I started losing weight, stopped eating, and I started being afraid to eat food because everything that I was eating or tasting tasted like crap, like gagging, can't eat it. Like couldn't put it in, couldn't swallow it. That's how bad it was. And it would be something like you've eaten before, you know. So then in October, because I was having my a full hysterectomy, I went in July of 2018 for the consultation, had the surgery scheduled for November 1st, and even went for, I think, a follow-up or something. Maybe I made a phone call and asked them something that I was losing so much weight. Are you concerned about the surgery? They stated no. They weren't concerned because I wasn't so thin that it was a danger. So I was losing when I say I lost like 20 pounds in maybe 2 months. And so I went for the full hysterectomy in November 1st of 2018, and then shortly after I had to go inpatient for I went to an eating disorder inpatient for inpatient help, and I lasted 5 days because the insurance wouldn't pay for me to be on the psych unit without me going to the eating disorder because it was a different separate thing or whatever, even though I was on the mental health side. But it was so traumatic. Like, you would walk onto this unit that was the eating disorder unit, and it is so, like, you just have this feeling of just anxiety lifting, like intensify. Like, I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like, that's how bad it was. And when you sat down to eat something with them, which their food was totally freaking gross, and you had to actually sit there for half an hour and wait for everybody to eat. You couldn't use the bathroom, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, even after. So then you'd be stuck on the unit for an hour. I'm not going to sit there and just watch somebody eat something when I'm not eating that disgusting food. And you would think that an eating disorder place would at least have delicious food to get people to eat. So, anyways. So, to make a long story short, I went inpatient from the time Dennis died to now, up to I think it was about 7 times in the last 4 years. I got into substance abuse severely, and had a friendship that wasn't really a very healthy relationship for the last 3 years. And that's my laundry. So I'll have to continue this in part 3. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys back here in the next time. Don't forget to watch part 3.